Hello! So I'm in the process of writing a script for a new video. Here's a little subtle hint as to what that's going to be about. Whilst I was doing that, I decided, since She-Hulk is coming up and I've worked myself up into wanting to review it, I should get myself a Disney Plus account. Whilst waiting for She-Hulk, I watched Prey, Moon Knight, and Hawkeye. When I got to the end of Hawkeye, I got very annoyed. Not with Hawkeye, but with Nerdrotic. You see, some time ago when Hawkeye initially came out, no one really paid it that much attention. But one voice I did hear was Nerdrotic's, and his quote-unquote review of the show was that it was bad and they cucked Kingpin. When I heard that, I was like, oh really? That's terrible. Why would they do that? Why would they get a character that everybody really likes and do that? So that was the only opinion I had to work with, really, without going and looking it up, and I honestly couldn't be asked because, like I said, no one was really interested in it. Cut to now, and I've watched Hawkeye myself, and honestly, not bad. Could be better. There's certain parts of it I was just like, oh, for God's sakes, why have you done that? But overall, entertaining watch. I liked it. Give it a go. It's actually, funnily enough, one of the things I talked about in the She-Hulk Great Expectations video was there's always some great overarching world-threatening event that's about to happen. Hawkeye doesn't have that at all. It's all small scale, it's lovely and concentrated. Yeah, go and watch it. The ending is convoluted, over the top, silly, and there's certain parts of it just like, oh, that's some really bad ADR there. But the bit that really got me was Kingpin. Spoiler warning for Hawkeye right now. Like I said, I suggest going to watch it, but if you can't be asked, then yeah, I'm about to spoil something. So Kingpin appears in this show. He's working with the main character's mother. I should say the female protagonist's mother. Incidentally, female protagonist. Oh my god, she's not a Mary Sue. She messes up left, right, and centre. It's brilliant. Anyway, Kingpin is working with the mother, and the mother doesn't want to work with him anymore. So right at the end of the show, honestly, this is a bit in the show I didn't like, because Kingpin is normally someone who works from the shadows. Like, he should be miles away from anything that's going on. But here he turns up on the battlefield and he's like, hi, I want to have a chat with you. It's very silly, very convoluted, and honestly I wouldn't have put it in. But the thing I want to talk about is the female protagonist confronts Kingpin and tries to attack him, and fails miserably initially. Then Kingpin gets run over by a car. Then the female protagonist once again tries to attack him, and eventually Kingpin gets blown up, and then he gets confronted by someone with a gun. And the camera pulls away before you hear the gunshot, so they're obviously going, well, we might want to use this character again, so let's not show him getting shot. Just in case, we can say, oh, well, no, he avoided the gun, he knocked the gun out of the hand, whatever. What gets me about this is, I don't understand where Nerdrotic was coming from. Because Nerdrotic said, oh yeah, they cucked him. They made him look bad, whatever he's... Oh, I actually have to try and find the clip. If I can, I'll put it in here.
Oh, we're not done snipping off the Kingpin's balls.
But watching it, I was like, I don't understand what he's talking about. Kingpin was really strong here. Like, really strong. He's like, he gets shot by arrows multiple times and just shrugs them off. He gets hit by a car, like I said. The female protagonist tries to fight him and he just throws her around left, right and centre. And it's only when, I think it was like 4 or 5 of the Hawkeye's special arrows all go off at once in his face, essentially, that he goes down. And it's like, that doesn't look like a character that's been cucked. That looks like flipping Juggernaut. This is a really strong character they've got here. I don't know what Nerdrotic was going on about. So I decided to watch Nerdrotic's review of Hawkeye, and bloody hell, what the... I don't normally like to say this. In my Godzilla reviews, I pointed people out saying stupid things. Here, Nerdrotic, in his review, is just lying. Plain and simple, he's lying. Here's a clip from his review.
And we left Jack Duquesne with a sword to Clint Barton's throat at the end of the 3rd episode, and that's where we pick up the action with the 4th episode, and this would be a great opportunity to have a little callback to the comics. The swordsman used to be Hawkeye's mentor, and if they had a little fight right now, it might be interesting. And then I remembered this was Disney Plus, and of course they all sit down at a table so Eleanor Bishop can scold Hawkeye and Kate. It had been a minute since they emasculated Hawkeye. I remind you, this is the 4th episode in a 6-episode series, and the bulk of it is spent sitting on couches and talking, walking in a hallway talking, texting, making phone calls, up until the end.
The clips he uses to show that this whole episode is just people talking are all from different episodes. Either he, or someone else if he has an editor, had to sit there and look up the different episodes, grab the clips from different episodes and put them together behind him saying this is all from one episode. So either Nerdrotic, if he has an editor that isn't him, he's not proof watching his own stuff to make sure that it's right, or he's the editor and he's lied. Either which way, not good. I also have an additional complaint that he starts this bit off by saying,
and if they had a little fight right now, it might be interesting. And then I remembered this was Disney Plus, and of course they all sit down at a table so Eleanor Bishop can scold Hawkeye and Kate.
All I can think of is the amount of times in MCU content where people have fights instead of talking, and talking would have solved all sorts of issues. But they don't talk, so issues don't get resolved and stupid things happen. In this show, people sit down, they talk, characters have character interactions. They have characterful moments. It's the things that we normally don't get in MCU content that is being provided to us in this show, and idiots like Nerdrotic are complaining about it. There's lots of other things, like he complains about Hawkeye's costume at the end, saying it looks like he's going skiing, even though the costume looks like it's from the comics. It actually looks better than the one in the comics, because the one in the comics has the sleeves off. At any rate, it looks comic accurate. Unless he's saying, oh, it's not like the old comics. No. They actually make a joke about that earlier, where the female protagonist does a little squiggle and says, hey, you should wear this, and it's really crap drawing, and it actually resembles the old costume, even though it's a crap drawing. When he talks about Kingpin in his review, he says at one point his opinions don't track. Essentially, they're on 2 separate lines running side by side, and they don't look at each other ever. One of them says the female protagonist gets beaten the living crap out of by Kingpin. She gets thrown around, and I think he said she should be turned to mulch or something like that. I'll put the clip in here if I find it.
And I got to admit, Kate Bishop can take a beating a lot better than Daredevil could. He throws her around the room. She should have been jelly by the time he was done with her, but she just kind of gets up, dusts herself off, and she's able to blow him up with a bunch of trick arrows.
On the other hand, he then says Kingpin gets cucked. And again, it's just the thing of, So which one is it? Is it that Kingpin is super strong and beating the living crap out of the female protagonist, or is he being made to look a fool? Which one is it? And even better, better, worse, depending on how you word things. When Kingpin is being held at gunpoint by this other character and he's quote unquote pleading for his life, you go back to the episode before where once again, oh my god, characters are talking to each other, oh my god. Where Kingpin is talking to this character and he's saying, I love you, we're family, and blah 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 blah. When she walks out the door, he then turns to someone else and says, yeah, she needs to die. So the program is saying you can't trust what he says because he doesn't mean what he says, because he's only doing it for his own benefit. So when he's at the end of this episode where he's at gunpoint, again, quote unquote, pleading for his life, he probably doesn't mean it, you idiot. He's probably waiting for a good opportunity to grab the gun off it. He's waving his hands in front of himself, doing sign language. That is the perfect opportunity for him to just, as he's moving his hands, to grab the gun and pull it out of the way and all that sort of stuff. Again, it's the whole thing of they move the camera away so they can use the character later, so there's plenty of opportunity for him to take the gun off her, out of shot. After doing my Godzilla Reviews video, link in the description and probably at the end of the title card, whatever it's called. After doing that video, I now keep seeing stuff where you watch reviewers, they say stuff, and you think to yourself, you're wrong. You're really wrong. Just completely and utterly wrong. Why do people listen to you when you're just so wrong? And apparently they're doing it again. I said I watched Prey, the Predator prequel film. Again, good film. A few silly things in it, but overall, good. Go watch it. Apparently, again, this is second-hand info, so this might not be as accurate as I was told it. A couple of reviewers complained about Prey because there's some stupid bits in it, and the example that was given was a character, the main character, again, spoilers for Prey, sorry about this, it's kind of, not really, anyway. The main character attacks a bear, and everyone thought that was really stupid, why would they do that? When I watched the film, I saw the film signpost the fact that the main character was upwind from the bear, and the bear smelled her, and she panicked. It's all signposted, it's all there, and it's just like, people who are giving their opinions on this film and saying this bit is stupid clearly weren't watching the film. In that case, that is rot brain takes. What Nerdrotic did wasn't rot brain, it was lying. So yeah, this is a quick video of me reacting to someone else's take on a TV show. I hope it wasn't too much for everyone, it wasn't too aggressive, too angry and all that. My next video will be my review of episode 1 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. That will be scripted. That will be scripted, so it won't be so rambly and ranty and all of that. I'm hoping it will be good. Honestly, after watching Moon Knight and Prey and Hawkeye, I'm actually optimistic about She-Hulk now. Because as much as there were some silly stuff in it, and as much as some of the action was over the top, and there's lots of the traditional bits of where the hell are your guns gone, I was entertained, and there were some actually genuinely good bits in it, especially Moon Knight. As much as Moon Knight has some very, very silly stuff in it, it also has some very, very good stuff in it. So yeah, my hopes for She-Hulk have been raised. Hope I'll see you then. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and Patreon if you fancy it. Also my Etsy store. Links below. Yeah. How the hell do you end